It all began on a warm summer evening, June 9th, 1912. In the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, Josiah Moore, a respected businessman, and his wife Sarah had taken their 4 children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul, to a children's program at the local Presbyterian church. 2 neighbor girls, Lena and Ina Stillinger, joined them for a sleepover that night. The Moores returned home around 10 p.m. Everything was ordinary. Laughter, bedtime stories, lights out. But by the next morning, that house would become the scene of one of the most horrifying crimes in American history. When their neighbor, Mary Peckham, noticed that the Moore family hadn't come outside to do their morning chores, she grew concerned. She knocked, no answer. She let the chickens out, still nothing. Finally, Josiah's brother Ross arrived with a spare key and stepped inside. What he saw would haunt him forever. All 8 people, Josiah, Sarah, their 4 children, and the 2 Stillinger sisters, were brutally murdered in their beds. Most of them were killed with the blunt side of an axe. Josiah had been struck so many times that his face was unrecognizable. The murder weapon, Josiah's own axe, was left inside the house. But there was something even more chilling. The killer had covered every mirror and window with cloth. A bowl of bloody water sat on a table. Cigarette butts were found in the attic, suggesting someone had been hiding there for hours, waiting for the family to fall asleep. It was clear. This wasn't a burglary. It wasn't random. This was planned. Cold, calculated, and deeply disturbing. But the investigation was doomed from the start. Before the police could even secure the scene, hundreds of townspeople had wandered through the Moore house, contaminating evidence and even stealing souvenirs. One officer later said, "The crime scene was trampled beyond recognition." Despite the chaos, some key details emerged. The order of the killings suggested the murderers started with Josiah and Sarah, then moved through the children's rooms one by one. Lena Stillinger's body had been moved after death, and her nightgown was pulled up, hinting at a possible sexual motive. The town was terrified. No one felt safe, and everyone had a theory about who could have done it. The first major suspect was Reverend George Kelly, a traveling preacher known for his erratic behavior. He had attended the same church event as the Moores, left town suddenly after the murders, and even wrote strange letters to investigators. Shockingly, he confessed to the murders during interrogation, but later recanted, saying he was coerced. He was tried twice. The first jury couldn't decide, and the second acquitted him. Then there was Frank F. Jones, Josiah's former employer and bitter business rival. Some believed Jones had hired someone to kill Moore out of revenge. Despite rumors and local suspicion, no evidence ever linked him directly to the crime. Another suspect, William Mansfield, nicknamed Insane Blackie, was thought to be involved in a string of similar axe murders across the Midwest. Yet he had alibis for the night in question. And Henry Lee Moore, no relation to the victims, who murdered his own family with an axe, was also investigated, but never charged in the Villisca case. Even decades later, the case kept drawing new theories. In their acclaimed book, The Man from the Train, authors Bill James and Rachel McCarthy, James proposed that the Villisca murders were the work of Paul Muller, a suspected serial killer responsible for a series of eerily similar family axe murders across the United States. The evidence? A consistent pattern. Entire families murdered while sleeping, lights turned low, windows covered, and the killer always disappearing without a trace. Was Villisca part of a larger killing spree? Maybe, but the theory remains unproven. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House still stands at 508 East 2nd Street. It's been preserved as a museum, and some say it's haunted. Visitors report whispers, footsteps, even ghostly figures of children. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, one thing is undeniable. The walls of that house still hold secrets they refuse to give up. Over a century has passed, and we still don't know who killed the Moores and the Stillinger sisters, or why. Was it revenge, lust, madness, or something even darker? One night, 8 lives, 0 answers. The Villisca Axe murders remain a chilling reminder that sometimes, Evil walks among us and vanishes before we even know it's there.